Twitcher, the Juice GameCat in the chat says, "What's a Skeeva?" Skeeva, what's a Skeeva? What's the best definition of a Skeeva?
Oh man, I don't know. It's a big tall VR gamer. That's all I got.
Wow, that's a pretty. We're all a little bit Skeeva is the answer, Twitcher. All of us. There's a little bit of Skeeva in each of us, and there's a little bit of me in Skeeva. Don't read too deep into that.
That's sexy,
bro. Thank you so much for being here. We've got so much to talk about. I want to catch up with you. It's always great having you on the show. So let's just get this intro going, and then we can shoot the shit on camera.
Sweet.
Let's go. This is PSVR GamesCast Live. We film live. That's right, you guys. Every single Monday, Wednesday, and 2 Eyes Friday right here on YouTube. We do it live for your viewing pleasure right here, video style. This is me. This is Skeeva. We're people. We're big VR people. You got the definition of Skeeva, and which is very similar to the definition of a Brian Paul, strangely enough. Dude, we are back to 3 days a week. Starting today, we were going to wait till October, but you know what? Why wait till the middle of the week to start your new schedule? Like, just fucking rip the Band-Aid off and do it, right? My name is Brian Paul from this channel right here without Parole. And the gentleman to my right is Skeeva from Between Realities. If you don't know Between Realities, take a second. Keep listening to us in the background. Go check YouTube. And go subscribe. Skeeva's what's happening, man? Thank you so much for being here.
Dude, thanks so much for having me. I'm so stoked to be here. Between Realities has been on a season break for like a month and a half or something now. We're about to come back in a few weeks, but scratching this itch to get on here and just like chat to someone that loves VR. I've been needing it. So thank you.
No, dude. Thank you so much. It was, getting this back on track and getting it back to the 3-day week schedule. There's always going to be some kind of road bump, right? Some speed bump that keeps you from doing it. And so you go, AJ couldn't make the very first one back, which I knew like way ahead of time. Like I know his schedule. This just wasn't going to work for him. And but I was like, but do we not do it because of that? Or do we forge ahead? And the very first person that came to mind when I said we're going to forge ahead was Jammy Hero, but Jammy's busy. So I called you. No, I'm kidding. Jammy's awesome, but he just streamed State of Play with me last week. So I didn't want to OD on Jammy. You know what I mean? It's like
top 3 is a win for me. You know what I'm saying?
No. It's good times. Hey, speaking of which, also, what's up, everybody in the chat? Thank you so much for being here. This is awesome. It feels like a return to form. I feel like we've been doing shit wrong for the last multiple months. Our summer schedule was boring as fuck, and this is exciting. Doing this 3 days a week, that's exciting. Thundercat says, Brian's amped today. Dude, I'm so overtired and so overcaffeinated. It's like, that's the energy you're getting. There's no realness here. It is just like forcing it, everything I have, into the screen for you to consume. That sounded awful.
I feel like I should have had more caffeine. Dang.
Don't worry. I am ready to crash any second. So I will be right there. Absolutely. Skeeva, let's talk about State of Play. Like I said, I haven't done a live show since State of Play, and I streamed that with Jammy. I'm very curious to know your take on this, especially as someone like kind of, not super within the Without Parole community. Like, what I want to know what other people are thinking about this presentation that all of us here were like, this was kind of amazing. Do you remember all the PSVR2 stuff that got announced?
I remember a couple, and like one of them, I'm trying to remember what the embargo is on this, but I'm gonna say anyway. So one of them is Metro. Right, Metro Awakening, and I got to play that at Gamescom.
Ooh.
And on the PSVR2, and it was great. So I'm super stoked, and like that part is amazing. I'm really excited about that. I'm a little worried about the Hitman announcement. I mean, I'm excited because it's Hitman, right? Mm-hmm. But as we've seen in historical times just recently here with the last Hitman release, they didn't do the best job. And like, if they're gonna like get people to buy a PSVR 2 because Hitman is there, right? It's just got to be good. Like, or it could be damaging,
Well, I mean, so in all fairness, the one that was brought to the Quest, was that XR Games? Do I have that correct? They were the ones
Yeah.
who ported it,
Yeah.
and so I believe this is being done by IO themselves, and not
Oh,
not that the PSVR
okay.
one version was perfect. I mean, we all know it used the DualShock, and that was a bad idea, right?
Mhm.
They just didn't have their heads wrapped around the move controllers or something like that. They claimed they wasn't getting move support because there weren't enough buttons on the controllers. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like Hitman only uses like 2 buttons other than walking and turning. So, uh, but this is their. I feel like this is their chance to get it all right. I feel like the PSVR one versions were kind of awesome, other than the DualShock support. Like, just give us 2
Yeah.
hands, and now they're giving us 2 hands. They're showing in the trailer. Here's a scope on your sniper rifle. They're saying dual wielding. They're kind of telling us all the right things. Now the question is, are they going to deliver all the right things?
They have to knock this out of the park. And if they do, it'll be absolutely huge. I mean, this is an incredible series that so many people would buy this headset just for this, right? But like they got to nail it. And I'm curious, like, it's interesting to me that a studio that only does VR kind of botched at least the Quest version and the PC version were both botched. Now for the PSVR one, no one wanted it just to be a controller support, right? But for at least for what they did, it was somewhat innovative to be able to kind of use your controller as a hand and like do different types of things that you wouldn't normally just do with analog sticks. But man, I'm telling you, like it just kind of it worries me if a VR company couldn't do this. Can they do it? I hope so. I hope so, because if they hit this out of the park, man, it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
It'll be huge.
Yeah, and we're going to definitely be talking about more about XR later in the show because they announced another game today that I'm very curious to hear your opinion on. I'm curious to hear the whole chat's opinion on because I only heard a couple people talk about it. I didn't really have time to get into the nitty gritty, but I bet it's going to be pretty divisive. Listen, this is coming in December, and I got to say, Skeeva, that we knew going into the season that it was going to be an absolute shit show. The games that we know are coming out that have release dates is already a lot. It might be VR's best season yet, right? I mean, like I don't even want to start naming off the games, but it's a lot, and they all look super high quality, and they all look like they've learned lessons of the PSVR2 launch and things that didn't go well after that in terms of like dealing with reprojection and whatever. So, and then things like this come along that are not only one of the biggest announcements of the year. It's not a single game, it's a trilogy of games, and it's coming out in December. It's like it's
Wow.
it's a little over the top. Like I just if people aren't sold on PSVR 2 yet, man, like they're not going to be. And so when people are like, "Oh, should I pick up a PSVR 2?" And I was like, "Listen, if you're not impressed with what you're seeing, then no, like this is as good as it's gonna get. Next year, there's no way next year is gonna be as good as this year, right?"
Can you imagine if it is? Wow, man, this is like the biggest IPs that have ever come to VR, all dropping at like the same time, pretty much.
Right?
Like if I was an indie dev releasing in December, I would be so scared. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how you get I don't know how you make a name in this landscape that's happening right now with all of these major huge IPs.
I don't think you
This is
do.
big.
I think you back the
Yeah.
fuck up and you say maybe February, right?
Yeah.
Right,
For sure.
man. But
For
yeah,
sure.
dude, this
There's
trailer
a
looks
lot
so
of these
good.
people are getting, yeah, it's crazy. A lot of these people are getting headsets for the first time this Christmas. Whether they be PSVR 2s, whether they be Quest, whether they be Steam headsets, whatever. Like, there's going to be a lot of people coming into VR, and there is like an insane amount of gameplay hours about to be had in some of the biggest IPs in all of gaming. And
Yep.
I almost can't even believe we're here. Like, this is the type of thing we all thought was going to happen like years ago.
Mhm.
And now it's like this waterfall of insane games.
Yeah, listen, I
It's great.
apologize to all the Metro fans out there because I was sort of ho-hum about the announcement of Metro Awakening when it first debuted on the last State of Play. I was like, it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I was a little nervous because Vertigo, right? But like, it looks so good. The new trailer looks so good. Like it went from being this game that I'm like, yeah, maybe once I get in there, I'll be interested, to being, I can't wait to get in there because I just at this point know it's going to be good. Like that's my vibe on it. Although you've played it and I haven't, so so
It's phenomenal. And I was like, just to connect, I was having a conversation with some of the higher ups at Vertigo, and like they brought people in from Metro to make sure that everything that made Metro is there. Right? Like all of those like mechanics that everyone's going to know, and they'll be looking for, that they all know from this game series. Like they put a lot of love into this, and it's really good. And man, it doesn't look good on the PSVR too.
nice.
It looks incredible.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess my big question is, and I don't know if you can answer this or not, is it using like the Arizona 2 engine? Like, is that what we should expect graphically?
You know, I don't know if it's the Arizona 2 engine, but I will tell you that like that game looks incredible, and the gun mechanics that are in that game, and the gun mechanics that are in After the Fall, and like it feels like they kind of pieced together some of the best parts of these engines. It's just I feel like it probably is, but I don't have a definitive answer on that.
Gotcha. I mean, listen,
Mm.
the trailer looks great. My concern is that like Arizona 2 is a very slow paced zombie shooter for the most part, and so the reprojection didn't really get to me. And I'm wondering how Metro will fare if it's even in the trailer they're showing some higher action moments. And I'm like, is this gonna break the immersion a little bit? But listen, I'm more optimistic, and I apologize if my sound goes out because Tornado is stepping all over my mixer right now. What are you doing, buddy?
No.
What are you
You're
doing?
gonna blow away?
Where are you going?
Oh, that tornado.
My
I thought you meant-
cat.
there's actually like hurricanes and all kinds of crazy stuff happening like on the east side of the country, but I don't think up that high, right? So for a minute there, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on. Yeah, she's we've gotten into some higher dosage catnip, we'll say. She's she's discovered CBD stuff. So
Nice.
yeah, so now
Right.
now she
She's
really is
next
kind of a
one, yeah.
tornado. She used to be so cool and chill, and now she's just like just knocking shit off everywhere. Like she's become a different cat over the last couple of days, and I was like, I don't think weed chills you out like it chills everyone else out. So
Especially CBD, that usually like is very calming.
Yeah.
Like extremely calming.
yeah, well, she
That's
takes
funny.
after her daddy because it gives me fucking panic attacks. Like I used to be the biggest pothead, and now it's like if I smoke a little, I'm just like my heart starts racing, and I'm like I think the police are gonna knock down the door at any second.
Yeah, I feel that. I'm pretty similar. I used to be there myself, and it's been rough lately. I mean, it doesn't help that like everything now is like 1,000,000% THC.
Hmm.
You know, you take one hit of something, and you're like on a different planet.
Yeah, but cat treats definitely shocker. All right, hey, let's tackle some tips here before we talk about the end of the rest of State of Play. We got Looper, the Underground Game Cat, with the €5 saying, with Hitman Trilogy announced, we keep getting 3 AAA hybrid games each year. I guess that counts. Yeah. Not sure. Brando with the $10 says, you guys without Parole and Between Realities, all rock. Thank you, Brando.
Heck
We
yeah,
appreciate
let's
you.
go.
Now let's try in the game. Feeling with the $5 tip says, happy to be here in the storm before the storm. Now let's try. I want you to know something, and I know you follow the channel. You actually listen to the things I say, unlike most people. I've definitely been hinting that there's a lot of shit in the works for October, right? Not just the games coming out and not the reviews I got to do and all that stuff, but like October is our favorite month here. Without Parole, I am in love with horror everything, right? I want to watch a different horror movie every single day for the month of October. I started this fucking 15 days ago, Skeeva. Okay, it's like 47 days of horror movies for Brian Paul. Okay, and so that includes video games too. And like I want to play all the scariest shit, and then I want to make scary content for the channel. And so like I just want to fucking do October right. And so I've had all of this stuff in the works for like weeks now, and now it's like, shit, man, I woke up today and was like, oh no, Bax Mustard reviews due today. Oh shit, like, Metal Hellsinger, like the embargo's already up, and like I need to go play that more. And like, not only am I dealing with the regular day-to-day stuff, but I'm like, I also want to deliver all this extra stuff. And so if I manage to nail all the stuff I'm planning on doing, I'm gonna need a fucking break in November. Like, it's gonna be
Man,
crazy.
I'm with you there with the horror stuff. Like as far as like movies, super into horror movies. When it comes to VR games, I'm absolutely terrified. But I've played through all the Resident Evil games in VR because they're so good that I was willing to risk the heart attack. Right. But it's October now, and this is the month where all of my friends know there are about 30 days that they have to get me in the scariest stuff, and this is the time I'll play it. So I'm terrified of this coming up month and what they're about to do to me. So fingers crossed, man. Happy Halloween.
I'm so excited. I wish I could be there and witness this.
It's so scary, dude. I'm telling you, like, do you remember in Resident Evil 8?
Yep.
Do you remember like the dollhouse?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I legit 6 times thought I was gonna die. Like I had to take my headset off and like go do like crazy mental breathing exercises, and like before I got to get back in there and have to do the same thing 15 minutes later. It's like it just shows the power of VR, that it can scare me to death like that and convince me that it's not real life. You know?
I mean, the number of horror games that you and I both played, I'm sure over the last however many years since VR became a thing, is, I mean, just ridiculous. Horror is like the number one thing that non-horror fans complain about and say there's too many horror games on these platforms, right? And so there's a lot of them. You would think by now we'd be a little bit callous, a little bit numb, be able to handle anything they'd throw our way. And somehow Madison like fucking redefined what too much was for me. I was like,
I couldn't do
shit.
it. I couldn't do it. I was in there for like 30 seconds. I'm like, nope, I can't do it. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
It was terrifying. Oh my God.
I love it. All right, one more tip, and then we're going to get back to this shit. Ace Gamer, the Gamer Cat, with the 1337 says, happy September 30th. So excited for spooky season and the games that come with it. Also, remind me to wake up Green Day tomorrow. Hashtag Tornado needs a Game Cat hoodie. Wake me up when September ends. You know, it's not funny when you have to explain it, so I'll chop that out. The downside of doing a live show is that you just wish you could redo all the jokes.
Oh man.
What
are you looking most forward to play? That's the scare like this. What's the scariest thing you're looking forward to play for the Halloween season? It's curious.
You mean like replaying or stuff that's coming up?
Either or, maybe one of both.
I mean, I think I got to stick with Madison because we're doing a spoiler cast for the whole crew on Saturday. So if anybody doesn't know, Saturday, I believe it's October 5th. We're finally going to do the Madison spoiler cast, which means I got to go back in and like play it again and capture all new footage for it, and then And I got to be honest, like there's a little part of me that's like not excited for that. It's like I even know what's coming, and it's still like I don't at 45 years old, I don't trust my heart the way that I used to.
Right? Seriously, bro. If you like, I can't even imagine like that. No one has died of a heart attack in VR yet. Like I was convinced in 2015 that was going to be a normal occurrence, and I haven't heard of it. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just a wuss. I mean, if just power through.
If Resident Evil 7 didn't kill anyone, then like, because not only was VR new, right? That game was just terrifying. So
scary.
Yeah, if that didn't do it, I don't know if anything's going to.
Man, and you've played that game, what, 45 times all the way through?
Roughly. Roughly. It took me a long time to get the platinum. Yeah. I would still, dude, if it came to PSVR2, I would absolutely play it again. Like,
right?
Immediately.
With both hands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 1 foot.
And 1 foot.
I don't even know what that means. I just want to be as in the game as I possibly can. All right. That covers the tips. Okay. The Midnight Walk coming to us from Moonhood Studios, the new studio set up by the old Ghost Giant developers and Fast Travel Games. Dude, this looks phenomenal. This is claymation in VR. Why am I drawing a blank? Has any other game done this, or at least done it fucking this successfully? This looks beautiful.
I think the closest is Scary Girl, probably.
That sounds
I don't know if you've played that. Yeah, it's very much claymation, but it's not really a game. It's more of you kind of sit through the story. So I mean, this is going to be sick, because this to me is like being in Tim Burton's brain a little bit. you know.
Yeah.
So I'm super looking forward to this.
Dude, I'm so downloading
Why
this
hasn't
trailer
anyone
right
done
now.
this? Like, this is too cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny too when you look back at the original announcement. Sirens on my end. Look back at the original announcement of Moon Hood being formed. Like a lot of these characters and environments were shown in that video. Like they gave us kind of a preview of the Midnight Walk a year ago, and I mean maybe it was just long enough ago to forget that it existed. But man, and the other part about this is like I'm kind of confused by the whole thing a little bit, right? Giving it a little bit more mystery, because I do believe they are referring to this as a first-person horror game, but so clearly has third-person elements to it. So you know, like I want to know how differently this plays in VR than it does on the flat screen. Like, is that where the first-person stuff comes into play when you're playing in VR? I don't think so, because they're describing it as a first-person horror game.
That is interesting, because I don't really see a whole lot in the trailer that would signify it's first person, but maybe it's a combination of the two. And look, I love third person experiences in VR too.
Yeah.
So either way, I don't think I would be disappointed. But if you can, you know, if there's a little bit of both in here, that would be incredible, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anything like, you know, we'll talk about Max Mustard in a second, but obviously Astrobot, Along Together, anything Moss, book 1 and 2, anything that has the combination of first and third person, like where you feel like this little character's protector, right? Like it's so effective. Ghost Giant, why I forgot the big one. These guys made Ghost Giant, right? Anytime you feel like that character's protector, like it just bonds you to them that much more, because you are like this, you know, kind of in God mode, and you're 100 times bigger than they are. And like, I love that in VR. So in a horror setting, this is just like everything I'm looking for.
It looks so good, man. It really does. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Tim Burton, and this just has those vibes for me. So I'm stoked. Can't wait.
So let me ask you, Skeeva, because again, I kind of preface this whole conversation under the guise of I want to know what somebody who's not like PSVR2 only, like we are here, or like a lot of us are here. How did you feel about this presentation? Did this give you any kind of spark that like, hey, Sony's very interested in VR, or was it more like, meh, same old shit?
Well, I mean, so I was excited that there was more than one title, right? That was already a win. Obviously, like until the showcase is all PSVR 2, right? I'm probably not going to be completely happy, but you know, it was great to see multiple titles on here, and I am I guess I'm just most concerned about Hitman, because like an IP that can bring people in, it has to be good, or they'll play that one thing and they'll put it away and they'll go, oh, this still isn't there, right? So that is my only, I think my main concern here, right? I know Metro is gonna be good. Like I'm pretty positive, unless that demo I did for 45 minutes was the only good part of the game, right? But I do think it was pretty good, you know.
Yep.
I would love to see an entire PSVR state of play, but I guess that's wishful thinking, you know.
Is it?
I don't know. I mean, you know, at Flat to VR Studios, we're bringing every title we do to PSVR 2. Like, we're not leaving any of it out.
Right.
So, you know, I'm a fan.
But
so it's happening, whether we sell any copies or not. It's happening.
To me, it seems like there's enough now, and enough that Sony should want to get behind for them to do their own, hey, this is a VR state of play, right? I don't know. I still don't know if that's the best idea, right? Because I think it's not hard, I think, to sell PlayStation like VR. It's not hard to sell old PSVR 1 gamers or a lot of Quest gamers on PSVR 2. They're already into VR. Like it's just like, here's your extra little push to like go buy another headset or go invest in this ecosystem. The bigger problem, I think, is getting people who don't play VR to play VR. And I think the only way they can do that is to continue to combine these states of plays and make sure that there's VR content that people go, oh, you can play Hitman in first person in VR? Like there's hardcore Hitman fans out there. This is going to sell headsets, right? Whereas if it was its own thing, people who are not interested in VR, like that Hitman person I was just referencing, is never going to see this. It's never going to be shoved in front of his face. It's kind of the best marketing they can do for themselves.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, I guess the goal here is not, like you said, to resell the people that are already sold on it. It's to bring new people in. So that's the way to do it, is to show that there's compelling, awesome titles out there that people go, huh,
Yeah.
okay, all right, I see what you're doing.
Yeah. Now they just need to drop the price, man. Drop it to $350 permanently, like they did for a little while there. That $350 price tag to $200 sale was crazy. Dude, I saw the results over here on Without Parole. Like numbers like just went up like drastically in terms of views and subscriber counts. People took advantage of that sale. They love that price. That works for them. If this was an experiment by Sony to figure out where do we need to be price wise, they found it. Like this is the magic number.
100%. I feel like doing mass volume would benefit them more than making a little bit more on a smaller amount of headsets.
Right.
But I don't know what these things cost, but like you got to get them in the player's hands, or what was the point? And that was a little bit too much. Now, I mean, I am kind of excited that the PSVR or the PS5 Pro is more expensive than the headset, because we can finally say, right, that the console is more expensive.
Yeah.
But man, did you see that? Did you see that limited edition that they did for the PS5 Pro?
I did.
Like that looks like the PS1. Dude, give me a headset like that. Right. Like give me like a PS1 branded looking PSVR 2. Yep. And I would have bought multiple of those. Give away.
I don't know if I would have bought multiple. I would have bought one and then never used it. Just left it on my shelf.
That's true.
Right.
That's probably what I would have done, but I'd like to say I would have bought multiple.
Dude, I was in line, man. I was in line and I got in right away for the limited edition sale, and I just dumped everything in my cart because I was excited. I didn't care the day before, but waiting in line and saying this is the moment, either just buy it now or don't. I dumped everything into my cart, and then there was like this weird glitch that like wouldn't let me check out for 20 minutes. I was able to like put it in my cart again and again. It wasn't even sold out for 20 minutes. And then it was like, and then finally it sold out after me trying for 20 minutes. And it was just because there was a glitch with I think I was using Chrome, the browser I was using. So I tried again the next day. I just used Edge. But I just got like a boring ass, Pro. That's it.
Yeah.
Just that. No limited edition stuff. Dude, no. I am happy that I did not spend extra money, because I definitely would have regretted it. I'm so happy that I just got the Pro, and I'm being very utilitarian. I don't need it to be beautiful on my shelf. I am fine. And I saved myself a ridiculous amount of money by doing that.
What's 6 months of ramen? Ramen's good.
I love ramen. Creamy chicken is the best ramen.
Oh, I didn't attempt it. I got to buy Christmas presents for my kid, and that would have been it. She wouldn't have gotten anything except for my PS5 Pro.
Oh my God. I am excited to see what they do with it, though. I'm excited to see how that all pans out. It doesn't sound like we're going to get too many Pro patches out of the gate. It sounds like Cube and Kayak are the two big ones. And then we're not even going to have like full support from Sony for VR2 until sometime after launch, which is like, I don't know, man. I think they need to be more transparent about that. They need to convince us to buy it. I was going to buy it one way or another for the channel, but there's a lot of people out there who are like, absolutely fucking not at that price. Not until you tell me a reason to buy it.
Well, and that's just it. Like I wouldn't have considered it if it wasn't for that limited edition that just looked awesome.
Yeah.
But which I didn't buy because because I don't want to be broke at the moment. But if they come out and say, okay, the patch for PSVR 2 hits X amount of time at X date, I will have one by then. But like until then, I feel like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Because I don't really use it for anything but the PSVR 2. I mean, every once in a while I've been playing Astrobot on it with my kid, right? But like, dude, if it doesn't benefit the PlayStation VR 2, I don't really care.
Nope.
Nope. So.
Absolutely. Dude, I mean, because the Pro, the PS4 Pro was so beneficial to PlayStation VR 1. And if it's that kind of upgrade, unbelievable. So
and I bought that right away because I feel like they said there was going to be a pretty big difference, right?
Yeah.
So I immediately pulled the trigger on that. But I don't know what they're doing. Apparently Sony doesn't have many employees, right? So like we got to wait. Just don't have the manpower.
Dude, they are paying so many people to do a whole lot of nothing over there these days.
I know.
It's crazy. We need more game announcements. What are these studios doing? Bonkers, dude.
I
Bonkers.
wonder, do you wonder if it's like, so back in the day, we used to get all these announcements, but I feel like the standard of what we want has gone up so high that now like these dev cycles are like 6 to 8 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
I
it's
hate
like,
it.
yeah.
I hate it. I don't, my standards are not that high. My standards are way lower than most people's. Like I don't need a Last of Us Part 3 that is like 30 hours long and renders every leaf on the ground in 8K. Like that's not me, dude. Like I want Sony to go back to pushing out single A games multiple times a year. Every studio they own should have a single A game department and in their quadruple A game department, right?
Yeah.
It's okay to release $40 or $50 games that are a little not quite up to the level that you'd expect from a first party Sony studio. Like one failure means these things shut down. One failure because there's been 8 years and hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, Concord is a joke, right? But like there are quality games that will be made first party Sony. Like that might just not find their audience, right? Like fuck Concord. Concord was a game that nobody wanted. But like what if like The Last of Us Part 3 just doesn't find its audience, right? And people are like, oh, you know what? I'm kind of burnt out on Last of Us because I just played The Last of Us 1 remake. I just played The Last of Us 2 remake. Maybe I'll wait for a sale. And then no one buys it at launch. Like, this is never going to happen. This is the weirdest hypothetical I've ever thrown out there. But like, but shit like this does happen. And it's like, is that the end of Naughty Dog? What the fuck? Like, that would be ridiculous. We just can't have that.
Yeah, I agree. And man, I wish they would just take like a small, like little section of like Insomniac, for example. And those are talented VR developers. Have made some of the best VR experiences in the world. And now they're not doing anything VR. And they are working for a company owned by a company that has a headset. Like just take just a little chunk of those people. And I know, right? We make games now. I know it's hard and it costs a lot of money, but man, they get the backing of Sony that wants to push. Like, I can't imagine they want their hardware to fail, right? Take some of those people and do something awesome. It doesn't have to be AAA, like you said. It could be just something with great mechanics that's super fun that utilizes VR mechanics like they are so well known for doing, right?
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of when Microsoft bought Rare, and it was just like they put out like Grab by the Ghoulies and some Banjo-Kazooie game, and then it was like, what else? Like, where did the talent go? It was just like they disappeared into whatever Connect thing Microsoft wanted them to do. It's like very talented studios getting very horribly mismanaged, and it's really sad. I don't think Insomniac's being mismanaged. I just think we're not getting what we want from them, which is just as upsetting.
Totally. Yep.
All right, man. Let's get back on track here. I am going to hold off on my Metal Hellsinger impressions until Wednesday. I figure Wes is a great person to talk to about this stuff too. And also, I'll explain on Wednesday why I'm not going to talk about it much today. But Skeeva, you've played a bunch of Metal Hellsinger on PSVR2. What are your thoughts on this thing? What are your thoughts on this game so far?
So let me give you my positives first.
Sure.
I like metal, right? I really like metal music. I like stuff that's pretty nasty. I like all kinds of music, but I especially really like heavy metal music. And the soundtrack in this game is so insanely good. Like, I literally wanted to take my headset off and go flip cars in the street, right? So because of that, I feel like I probably liked the game more than I should if I had muted it and really just paid attention to the mechanics. Now, I had a blast playing this game. But I did notice a lot of things that could have been better. The UI system was not great. In between maps, there was a lot to be, left to be desired. When you go into third person view, the scale I felt was kind of off. There was a lot, with like the boss at the end of each level was pretty much the same. Like, there was a lot of that stuff, but I had a blast slaying demons to these insanely sick metal tunes. And I'm going to play that game a lot more. So
excellent.
Be it as it is. I don't know. I mean, as a VR game solely, it's probably like a 6. But that soundtrack, man. Oh my God. It's just so good. I can't even handle it.
Yeah, without going too much into depth, like I kept asking myself, I was like, well, what if this was like punk Hellsinger? What if this was emo Hellsinger? What if this is like the shit that I really, really get into, right? And
Yeah.
because I'm not, I don't know. I've tried, you guys, I really have, and I'm just not like metal is so tangentially related to the stuff that I listen to. Like it's so close, but not quite,
Yeah.
you know? And
Yeah.
and so it wasn't doing it for me, but also like I have not given this game a fair shake, and that's why I don't want to unfairly judge it today. I'm going to give it a lot of time over the next. I'm going to play a lot tonight and tomorrow, and hopefully get out a review depending on how long this thing is. But if you've heard it, you heard it here first. Probably not first, but you definitely heard it here. If you're a metalhead like Skeeva and you love this shit, then you're probably going to really enjoy it.
Yeah. If you're into this music, it doesn't even matter. Like they honestly could have just put a black screen up and just pumped that into your ears and it would have been phenomenal. So, I just I want to set that right. But like, I'm going to play this game more. I just am. So yeah, it was fun for me overall. Mm-hmm.
All right, and then I got a review out from Max Mustard today, and this is a game that I've just had so much fun with. Really hated giving it even as low of a score as I did. I think I landed on 8.2, and it really just comes down to like wanting more of everything, and a game where we kind of got used to what Astrobot delivered. And so this game is trying to do something similar with like a lot of different, first person gadgets, and then kind of under delivers on the amount of first person gadgets, and then like gives us a bunch of levels. But then it's like, oh man, the game's over so fast that like, I beat it in 5 hours, and that's getting all the collectibles and getting a gold medal on all the challenges. And I'm like, God, it was good while it lasted, but like, man, I just need more. And I don't think that that's a bad criticism. I think when you finish a game and you don't go, thank God that's over. Like, right? Because that happens so frequently. Even good games, man. Like I love Madison. I thought Madison was just broke all sorts of ground when it came to storytelling and horror. But when that was over, I was like, thank fucking God. Like I need this to be over. I didn't want Max to be over. I don't want Max to be over. I want a full-fledged Max Mustard sequel right now. Get on that shit.
I agree. I love Max Mustard, and I will say that I have not played the PSVR2 version. I am going to, but I have played it all the way through on the Quest and then some, right? And I am in love with this game. Like I love everything about it, from the colors to the aesthetics to all the mechanics to like really, having that kind of mix between Astrobot and a Super Mario game. I just love everything they did here. And having a move in there called the Skeeva Slam, that helps a little too. But but I legitimately really, really like this game. And it going to a new platform is just another excuse for me to be able to get in here and play it again and not feel like I should be playing something else because I've played this so much. Right. So I'm really stoked for this. I'm excited to kind of get in and see, just to see it with higher fidelity graphics than you can get on the Quest, right? I mean, I think the PSVR 2 just has so much more to offer in that department. So yeah, just so stoked for the PSVR 2 version of this.
Yeah, I mean, I will tell you that the stuff that really hits home in Max Mustard, as far as PSVR 2 support goes, is stuff that you might not even expect. Sure, it has like, it uses eye tracking and has like, higher resolution, higher frame rate. It's pretty rock solid 90. That's all great. The OLED panel makes the world colorful, more colorful than it was before. But it's the nonstop use of haptics, way better than the Quest version in terms of like you feel every coin that you collect. You feel the wall as you're sliding down it before you do a wall jump. You do. I mean, they've just really utilized this way more. Like I played the Quest version, and these are things that were missing. And I was like, why how come I'm not feeling like when I land on the ground or when I'm jumping or using the jetpack? Like this stuff isn't like really coming through in the controllers. And they were like, well, in PSVR 2 version, we're going to change that. We're going to like really utilize that. I'd be surprised if the Quest doesn't get a patch to, implement some.
I hope it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope it does. That sounds amazing, and I can't wait to get in there on the PSVR 2 and play this.
Yeah, even the first person stuff where you're like shooting the plunger gun, shooting the vacuum gun, you get the adaptive triggers, and it just feels good in your hand. So this was a real pleasure, and I hope this thing sells, man. I hope this thing sells because these are the guys giving us what we want. Toast Interactive is delivering on Astrobot not being here on PSVR2, which is a real shame. But like a Max Mustard 2, I have complete faith that they could get to Astrobot levels of quality with a Max Mustard 2.
And this game comes from a lot of passion, which I really like too. I remember I was chatting with Richie from Richie's Plank Experience, who is the CEO of Toast, and he said he got the idea of this game because he was like, I think he was on the plane on the way to some expo, and he was like on his Switch playing Mario Odyssey or something, and he was like, why don't we have this in VR besides like Astrobot, right? Like we need more of this. And he loves those type of games, and then so they ended up making something so amazing. And I guess like most of this game, I feel like from what they told me, this game could have been 3 times longer had they not had such insanely high quality standards for the levels, and most of them got thrown away. Like they did all these levels and completed a lot of them, and they're like, that's not good enough, you know. So I mean, it would be great one day, honestly, to have like a director's cut of this game, where some of the top levels that they chucked made it into like a longer cut of this game. But it just kind of goes to show that, man, they really put their heart and soul into this, and they really wanted to make something that every single level was top quality.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, that all makes sense because, it didn't feel like there were any throwaway levels here. It all felt like well crafted and lots of love put into each one. I cannot believe the footage I'm showing right now. Like, I just took a random section. I always do this. I don't spend any time going, oh, what am I going to show during GamesCast? I just take a random section of gameplay, and it's just me fucking around on the map screen for like 5 minutes.
Like playing with the toast and stuff. That's great.
Playing with the toast, eating the toast, pulling the eject lever. He just gets shot into the air. Guys, sorry, spoilers. You could do this shit in the game. Weird ass spoilers. I'm sorry.
Oh, God. It's amazing. Love it.
Good though. So good. I actually hope they put a physical version out, because this just feels like a game that like deserves it. Really like I don't know. It just feels like it was like let's put the stamp, the final stamp of approval on this thing. Get a physical version out to all those people out there who only buy physical stuff, which there are a surprising number of.
It's a shame we don't have cartridges anymore, right? This game should be on a cartridge.
Oh my God. What kind of this? I mean, I guess it would have to be an N64 cartridge, right? That would be so cool. Right? I want an N64 version of this game.
For real, that would be amazing.
It would be so blurry. Man! All right, man. We had a pretty awesome. Well, you know what? I was gonna say we had a pretty awesome announcement today, but I want to say we had a pretty awesome lead up to this announcement. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about. On God, I want to say it was Friday. Here, this is what they put up on Twitter. On Friday, Sony Pictures VR. What the fuck are they called? Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, they showed this video. Johnny Rico from Starship Troopers, putting on a PSVR2 headset and then showing the release or a date of September 30th. They said, come back here September 30th for more information. And everybody lost their fucking minds, right? Because Starship Troopers is, unbeknownst to me, Skeeva, a beloved franchise. I had no idea until this announcement happened how cool this was. How much this stoked people's imaginations about what this could be. And I've never seen Starship Troopers until today.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, because actually, in all fairness, I've only seen the first half, like on the dot first half. I've seen an hour and 4 minutes of it because that's all I could fit in before GamesCast. But I'm gonna watch the other hour and 5 minutes tonight.
Dude, what an awesome movie!
I knew it. Cool. How did I miss out on this phenomenon? This is crazy. Oh, okay.
So good.
I guess that answers that question.
Oh, it's so freaking good. And like I remember playing Guardians, going, man, if this was just Starship Troopers, this would be like such a big seller, right? because like I feel like Guardians was heavily inspired by Starship Troopers. So when I saw this, I was one of those people losing my mind. I was like, yes, let's go. This is gonna be sick.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was pretty confident, man. Like, all you had to do was do a quick little Steam search for Starship Troopers and find out that there's been a Starship Troopers game in early access for a while. It's Starship Troopers Extermination, and it it was coming. It's coming to PS5 very soon, like within the next 2 weeks. So we're like, clearly, no questions asked. This has to be a PSVR2 version or mode of this game that has been in development for such a long time. And it was getting good reviews in early access. It seemed like it was going to be a great game, single player campaign, co-op. And that's not what this turned out to be. Did you see the trailer, Skeeva, for Starship Troopers Continuum?
I did. And, it was one of those bittersweet things where it was like, Starship Troopers, but why are they showing like frozen models of characters? Like that's not a good sign, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, they did show a little bit of gameplay in there. It was very, like a second here and there. Man, I don't know. If they were smart, they just would have bought the Guardians IP, I'm telling you, and reskinned it.
Right.
Like, so we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm gonna play this because I love the movie. Man, I really hope it's good. Man, fingers crossed.
Well, they show a lot of stuff that says captured in engine. That's clearly not gameplay, right?
Yeah.
And then they show the gameplay stuff and says captured on PC, and it looks just so mediocre. It looks, it looks clean. That's a quote from my buddy Rypop, because it looks clean. I was like, yeah, but should it? Should a Starship Troopers game taking place on these like desolate worlds? Shouldn't there be like like swarms of like sand and what? Shouldn't this look like Farpoint? Like Farpoint in 2018 looked so much better than the brief clips they showed in this trailer. Why is that? We are on better hardware. We're on a better headset. What are you doing? Where's Impulse Gear when you need them? Oh, right, they're fucking around with Larcenauts. God damn. I'm just horribly depressed by the whole thing, man. Like, because it's like maybe the game's gonna be good, but like this trailer is just so underwhelming.
It is. I mean, I wonder how much more time do they have to bake this thing? Did they even give us a release date on this trailer? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's like October 10th or something. Like I forget when it is, but it's very soon. It's very soon.
So if this was like coming Q4 of 2025, it'd be like, all right, that's cool, man. They're just getting some footage so we can see some stuff, right?
Actually, hold on. Did I just make that up? Because it says coming soon in the trailer. So did I just make that up?
I don't know.
I'm gonna try to figure it out.
I really hope it's not coming next month. This needs time to cook from what I can see, but it's such short little tiny bursts of gameplay that like I just can't tell.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a little skewed because like when I look at this and my brain instantly flashes to scenes of the movie and I get really excited. Yeah. And I'm not maybe truly seeing this for what it is, but the beginning parts where it's just showing these models not doing anything, clearly flying around with some kind of lighting in Unity or something, right? That's always a little nerve-wracking because it's like, well, why do they need to do that? Why can't they show some really cool gameplay footage if this game is awesome? All right. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure what to think here.
We're gonna go over to the PlayStation blog and see if they can shed some light on the subject. I'm sure the cats in the chat have already told us. Mark Poppin Pringlesleaf says October 11th. Please don't give me that British nonsense. He goes 11 October. What country do you think I'm in? Sorry.
So who is this? Thundercat saying, let's be honest, looks like a bag of crap.
I mean, as I'm trying to maintain some semblance of positivity here, but I don't know if I should be. So, over on the PlayStation blog, the article title reads: Starship Troopers Continuum upgrade and perk system leans into the original sci-fi film's mythology. This comes to us from Matt Murray, head of marketing. Here we are again, XR Games. So that's a thing. On October 31st, Starship Troopers Continuum. Oh, October 31st for the PSVR2 version. Thank you, Tatum. On October 31st, Starship Troopers Continuum will be released on PSVR2. Space in the Wrong Place. The multiplayer co-op shooting game is the first to recreate Starship Troopers in VR. This blog will explain what the game's name actually means, but first, please welcome a very special guest, the face of FedNet, hero of Clendathu. Listen, I'm only halfway through the game. Give me a movie. Give me a break. General Johnny Rico. I'm not reading his quote. In developing Starship Troopers Continuum, we at XR Games wanted to capture the essence of Starship Troopers. As Casper says, that's the meat grinder. This war is dangerous, and the bugs are lethal. You will die. Then accept your rewards, choose a new trooper, and start again. Skeeva, it's a roguelite. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, I want to die. Kill bugs, earn money, gain XP. Survive long enough, and you will retire your trooper into citizenship with the extra bonus that brings. Or don't, and die, and try again. This is the meat grinder. Of course, you bank your progress. You earn new perks and guns to arm your next trooper with. You get to make a stronger build. The mechanism by which you do this is called the Continuum. This takes place 25 years after Clendathu, and there's been a breakthrough in psychic research. The Continuum, this technology creates a psychic interface through which soldiers, called Psy Commanders, can control other human beings, like Cyrano in the movie. In Continuum, the moment you don your VR headset, you're connected to the Continuum in the role of a Psy Commander. You control one trooper at a time, die, and you can immediately take a new trooper. Your goal is to keep them alive, but accidents happen. I'm skipping through some of this. It's an online multiplayer game, great with up to 1 to 3 players. Curious to see how one player goes. So build complementary troopers for battlefield dominance. 20 plus weapons, 40 plus perks allow you to create different trooper every time. Keep them alive, hit the criteria for citizenship, and gain big bonuses that'll make you even more powerful. But don't underestimate the bug. They're fast, lethal, some tricks you have not seen yet. It'll be released October 31st. And then they're saying there are many other ways to kill bugs. Starship Troopers Extermination, 16-player co-op first-person shooter developed by another studio, will arrive October 11th. I don't know, man. It's not selling me.
It's not selling me either, but the IP does. So we'll see what happens. I mean, look, if there's one thing here, and I know there's a very serious counter to what I'm about to say, but there's one thing here that really makes me excited that this is coming besides the fact that it's Starship Troopers, is that these guys did Zombieland Headshot Fever. And that is one of those VR games, especially on the PSVR2, that I can go back to over and over and over again and get insanely addicted to. And it's just so good. And they nailed the mechanics there, and they nailed everything about that game. So I'm really hoping that maybe some of the same people with some of those visions kind of came aboard for this. And I know they did Hitman, which kind of wipes all of that off the table. But I'm really crossing my fingers here. I want this to come out and kick ass. I really do.
Yep. I don't know. Maybe I'll have another opinion on it after I finish the movie. Like I said, halfway through, and maybe when I'm done, I'll be like, "Oh, it was such a good movie. Like I'm really excited for the game." Maybe that'll happen. But yeah. I don't know what you thought the counter to Zombieland is. Maybe the counter to Zombieland is Hitman 3 on Quest. Yeah, okay.
It definitely is.
Right. Wait, hey, listen, since I got you here, and since you were, it was Gamescom? Was that the event that I'm blanking on right now?
Is that where you played Metro? And I was at Connect last week, but Gamescom was absolutely insane.
Did
one of the coolest events I've ever been to in my life.
Did you play? First of all, awesome, and I wish we could spend the whole show just talking about Gamescom, because that sounds like an event that I should have been at. But what did you get to play Zombie Army?
I did not.
Okay,
and so I had limited time because I was also running a booth.
Yeah.
Right. So I did go and I played a bunch of things, but because of what I was hearing about Zombie Army, that was not one of the ways that I was. One of the things that I was willing to kind of, use the very valuable time that I had to actually go demo games on. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. I only asked because obviously there's been some impressions out there that have been less than positive, and also that's another XR game that, I'm like, what I think Zombieland Headshot Fever is such a smaller game by comparison. You know, like it's on rails. It is node to node teleportation, and it is, you know, very, very structured. They deliver exactly what they want you to see at any given point, and so that's why I'm like very curious to see how they do with something like Starship Troopers Continuum, like Zombie Army VR, because I just don't know their pedigree well enough to say, yeah, I'm not concerned. I don't know if I should be or not. But.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they had that one banger, right? And that game in Zombieland will be forever in my, you know, in my heart. I just love that game so much. I play it all the time. They haven't had a whole lot of other games that have come out that have really wowed people. So it is a little concerning, you know. But man, I want so bad for this to be awesome. And I'll probably be emotional if it sucks. So
well, I'm always here. Feel free to give me a call and I'll give you a virtual hug.
Right on.
Make everything better.
Sweet.
All right, listen. Like I said, I would love to stay here all day and talk about everything all day. But this is the first day back to the 3-day week schedule. We had a massive problem the last time we were doing a 3-day week schedule, keeping under a certain amount of time. The second I said we're going back to the 3-day week schedule, I said in my head it was like hour and 15 minutes maximum each episode. So I apologize to anybody out there who really likes longer form content. I fucking love long form content. That is what I consume when I'm playing Portal games or Switch games or whatever. Like when I'm laying in bed, like there's also 4-hour retrospective on iCarly happening in the background, right? That shit is on. So I apologize to anybody who loves the long form stuff, but we got to make sure that we don't go too crazy with this stuff. So before it gets out of hand, I think it's time to play the 5-minute challenge. Have you chosen a game, Skeeva?
I have.
Excellent. I need everybody's help out there. It's weird. It hasn't been 1v1 for a while. Usually it's 2v1 or 1v2. So I need everybody's help in the chat. We only have 5 minutes and infinite number of questions to figure out what PSVR 1 or PSVR 2 games Skeeva's thinking of. There's no way I'm going to get this.
Do I have to do the timer? You're doing the timer, yeah?
I'm putting the timer up.
Sweet.
I'll put it up on the screen. And here we go. On your mark, get Des. Go. Is this a PSVR 1 game?
Yes.
Is it also on PSVR 2?
No.
Is it on other VR headsets?
No.
Oh, PSVR 1 exclusive. Is it a horror game?
No.
Was it a PSVR 1 launch title?
No.
Is it used the move controllers?
No.
Does it use the aim controller?
No.
Okay, so DualShock only. Does it use a DualShock?
Yes.
Some games just use look at this and it works, you know. I figured I'd ask.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we talk about this game on today's show?
No.
There goes Hitman Looper. Damn it. Does it have any multiplayer? Asked Bambino.
Yes.
Ooh. Is it racing?
Yes.
Ooh, Kevin, we might be on something. Was this released by a Sony first-party studio?
To be honest, I don't know if this is a first-party studio.
Is it a futuristic racer?
Yes.
Is it the collection of other games in the series?
Yes.
Is it? Awesome. Is it Wipeout Omega Collection?
It is. It is.
Holy shit.
Oh man, I didn't make that nearly hard enough. But I got to tell you, man, that is like probably out of all of these years of VR, Wipeout Omega Collection is in my top 3 to this freaking day, and I still have my PSVR 1 hooked up and ready to play because I have to continually go back to that game because it's so freaking good. I love one of my favorite all-time VR games,
dude.
So.
I mean, I feel like I'm just fucking beating a dead horse at this point, but like, why isn't this on PSVR 2? Right?
Dude,
it is
I don't know.
so good. The quality is through the roof. Like, we don't even need like really any updates, like just upres it or something, you know? Like, I don't even know what to say.
They don't even track the controller. Like, right? It could be such a direct, easy port. I cannot figure it out because I have played almost all the games and that game is one of the very best.
Yeah.
And it's a damn shame it's not on PSVR 2. It is phenomenal.
And on the Pro, like, it looked so much better than it had any right looking. Like, that game, even I bet even without uprising it, you'd just be like, nope, same game. Be like, good enough.
Phenomenal.
Take it.
Phenomenal. I even, so Tribe Grey Wolf was over at my house probably 2 months ago or so, and he had never had a PSVR 1, and I threw him in that game, and he was like, he couldn't even believe it. He played it for like 2 hours, and he was losing his damn mind.
Amazing.
And he's like, oh my god, I gotta get a PSVR 1. I'm like, I know, right?
Dude, I'm so excited because if I turn the camera that way, you would just see a big hole in the wall where, like, there used to be a wall. Now it's just like, just tore the whole place open, and now it's one big room.
Nice.
Yeah, and like, we even tore out all the closets. Like, we want to make the place as big as possible because it's like 400 square feet, so we're trying to make the most of it.
There you go.
I promised myself that with the new space, I'm going to have a PSVR 1 camera and headset and move controls and all that shit, along with its own console, the PS4 Pro, set up all the time, right? That way none of these games will be lost to me. None of these games will feel like I can't play them anymore, right? I have the means. I just right now don't have the space, but that's about to change, and I'm very excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Think of me when you're playing Wipeout.
Yep. I will, certainly. TGK2 in the chat says, isn't the company that made it gone now? I'm assuming he means the company that made Wipeout. Keep in mind that, like, Wipeout's been through many developers over the years. Like, it was first a Psygnosis game, and there hasn't been, Psygnosis proper hasn't existed in quite a while. It's a Sony IP. They could take the source code and app do whatever the fuck they want with it. So regardless of whether the developer's still there or not, that's why we still have faith that, like, Blood and Truth could come out, even though London Studio is DOA, not DOA. RIP. Nope.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're sad they're gone. Yeah.
Dead and buried.
Right.
Man, that's too bad. Well, they do. Yeah, you're right. They do have that code. It's not like they deleted it when they got rid of that studio, right? So they could absolutely give this code to any studio that comes along that if they wanted to re-release this game, and I think they should. It's just like, I feel like the port would probably be one of the easiest out of all of the World titles and would make some of the biggest splash, So I don't know. It seems like a no-brainer to me.
All right, Skeeva, it's time to get out of here. Listen, again, make sure you guys look at this dude. Look how awesome he is. If you don't already subscribe to Impact Reality, oh my god. Sorry, was Wes here?
Yes.
Sorry.
But please come check out Impact Reality.
Do that.
We launch all kinds of amazing VR games for studios, and I love my team.
Yeah, if you don't know, Skeeva is also part of Impact, part of Flat to VR Studios. He's he runs beyond reality, between realities. Dude, somebody put me out of my fucking misery. What you said between realities on hiatus right now. What's when are you coming back, and what's the plan?
Coming back. I believe we're coming back. We don't have a hard date yet, but we should be back this month. Well, this coming month in October. We're going to come back with a whole new. So we do weekly interviews with some of the people that we feel are making the biggest splash in VR,
Nice.
Whether it be content creators or awesome developers or whatever. So we will be back soon. So stay tuned. Subscribe, and then you'll get some notifications when we go live again.
Excellent. I can't wait. And if you get bored, let me know, and I'll come show up again, because I had a blast with you and Alex. So much fun.
That would be rad.
Excellent. All right, guys. Thanks everybody who helps the channel run financially, emotionally, mentally. You guys are all fucking amazing. Thanks to all the mods out there who make my life easier every day. Thanks to Skeeva for being here today. Thanks to everybody. Patreon.com/withoutparole games. Everyone who tips during the show. Everyone who chats, keeps us entertained. We try to keep you entertained. And everybody sits back like I used to and watch a show, and they don't say a goddamn word. Trust us. We know you're out there, and we love you just as much. Let's go.
Love those.
Oh crap! Yeah, I don't have the link to Between Realities handy, but I promise I'm going to pin that shit in the comments. So if you're watching this after the live stream is over, we'll make it nice and easy for you to click the link and go subscribe. But hey, just before we head out, we just got a couple more minutes here. What Skeeva, are there any horror movies on your radar that you're looking forward to with October literally hours away?
I've been wanting to watch Longlegs, and I know it had like this really good marketing campaign, right? And then I don't think the movie did as well as they did with their marketing, but the marketing still got me, and I still kind of want to check it out.
Yeah.
So,
dude, it's an enjoyable film to watch. I think they didn't do themselves any favors with the marketing, because they marketed it as like, this is the scariest movie you'll ever see. And like, I mean, that screams to horror fans, and you go, okay, well then let's see what you got. And then like, it's not scary, It's like, just tell us what it is. Be like, this is the most suspenseful movie you'll ever see. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I can get behind that. It's pretty suspenseful. So, enjoyable.
Kind of cool. It was really that whole marketing campaign where they like hooked up that lady to the heart rate monitor.
Yes.
When they saw Nicolas Cage's costume for the first time, and she started like freaking out. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I got to watch this movie.
Yeah, it was like Miles Dyer, the trailer, the movie trailer. It's like everything he does over there. Awesome. Yeah. You know what, dude? I got to be honest. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but thank you, Nick. Fucking love you. Put the link in the chat for everybody.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Did you get to see Alien Romulus yet?
Yes. So it came out when I was at Gamescom, and I immediately, when I got back, I went to the movie theater. I just like went by myself. I'm like, grabbed a ticket first chance I got, and I went and saw it. And I thought it was pretty good. Like, it was kind of like Alien, the greatest hits, all the different parts of some of the cool scenes that happen. I still don't exactly know how I feel about everything that happened at the end. But I love the Alien franchise. Like, I love Prometheus is actually one of my favorite movies of all time. So I don't know. I'm super huge Alien fan. So I really got what I think I needed out of it. I don't think there'll ever be like a Sigourney, like, Alien or Aliens level movie again, but it was pretty good. I really had fun.
Nice. Listen, what you planned, what you did was my plan. I was on vacation with my family when it hit theaters, and and I wanted to see it. But I'm not going to drag my family to the movie theater to see a horror movie. Like, I've got like nieces and nephews that are like real little. And so yeah, and I fully intended on going to see Alien Romulus by myself multiple times, and it just didn't happen again and again. And then the more times it happened and the later it got, I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, it's gonna be hitting streaming services any day now, and then I'll be like pissed that I went to the theater to see it. And so and I just saw on Amazon that it's coming on like the 13th or the 14th or something. So
you haven't seen it?
I've not seen it, and so I'm super looking forward to watching it.
Nice. I'm definitely gonna watch it again when it comes out. So yeah, I mean, that's good. In a way, that's good, right? You got to spin it like you still have that thing to look forward to.
Yeah.
The Alien movie, dude. It's Wayland Corp. Let's go.
I mean, listen, I marathoned all the Alien movies recently, and I've learned one thing, and that's not to be excited just because it's an Alien movie. Like 3 and 4 are legit real bad. So.
Yeah, they're not great. But did you like Prometheus? I'm just kind of curious on what your take is there.
It was okay. Here are my thoughts on Prometheus, and that's that, like, I knew people that went to see it in the theater not knowing it was an Alien movie, and that worked for them big time. So by the time I get around to seeing it on Blu-ray, I knew it was an Alien movie, and I probably would have fucking walked out after the first half if I didn't know the alien stuff was coming, because I was like, this is just such a generic sci-fi movie with nothing appealing at all, but knowing the alien stuff was coming, that kept me around. So like, I have kind of a love-hate relationship with it.
Man, yeah, it's like, I feel like it's just in the Alien universe. It's not really an Alien movie. It's like one part of the movie where it's kind of like, you're like, oh, okay, But for its own movie, I thought it was phenomenal. I really liked the characters. I loved the story. I loved everyone going out into the universe to try to find like who made humans, right? I don't know. The story really grabbed me, and I was super sad that they kind of banged a Yui for the next one, and we're like, okay, that didn't go over very well, so we're gonna do something like, to try to make everyone happy. But it's Alien. It's all good.
And what we know is that when you try to make everyone happy, you make no one happy.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
All right, you guys. Skeeva, thank you again. Good night, everybody. We love you all. We'll see you Wednesday.